Hi guys, my name is Daniel and I'm going to talk about the 90's convention. The 90's convention happens every year in Hartford, Connecticut. Well, there was one time, I think last year, that it was in Florida, but usually it's in Hartford, Connecticut, and it's where big famous celebrities from TV shows and movies from the 90's get together, where fans get to meet them, get their autographs, and have their pictures taken with their heroes from the 90's. I was able to go last weekend. I went on a Saturday because there was an after party in the evening of Saturday that featured Wilson Phillips performing their hits in celebration of their 35 years since the release of Hold On. And if you grew up in the 90's, you would know how impactful that song is. And even until this day, that song is still so relatable and so empowering, especially during times of uncertainty and difficulty. So I was really, really happy. It was such a dream come true to be able to see these big stars from the 90's. It felt like a childhood reunion, a long time coming. The convention is in Hartford, Connecticut, which is over 2 hours away from New York City if you drive. I decided to take the bus because I wanted to save on money and effort as well, because it's just over 2 hours. Why spend $100+ when I could just pay for $20 each way for a convenient, quick bus trip to Hartford, Connecticut? I was there. I took the 6:30 a.m. bus. I got in town at 9 a.m. And what's funny is that I Googled, I YouTube searched how Hartford is, what the reviews are for the town. And most of the reviews were like, oh my god, Hartford is so scary, it's so dangerous, it's not a walkable city. That really got me anxious, and it got me thinking maybe I should just rent a car. But as it turns out, when you arrive at Union Station, the first thing you see are some dilapidated buildings, but most of the city is actually walkable if you apply common sense. Now, I live in New York City. I know what a rough and tough neighborhood is. I've also lived in London, South London in particular, and I know what a rough and tough neighborhood is. So if you apply common sense and you have your awareness of your surroundings, you will do fine in Hartford, Connecticut. And you could actually walk from the bus station to the Connecticut Convention Center. It's just under 20 minutes. And if you walk through the park with daylight, of course, you'll be fine. And what's beautiful is that you've got a beautiful scene in the park with, I think, the State Building, which looks like a castle. And then you walk through the park towards the end of the park, you have the museum, the Atheneum Art Museum, which is so beautiful. It is worth a check. Even I have been to the Met several times. I've been to the museums in London and in Europe, and I still appreciated the exhibits in that museum, which I'll write down below. To save on money, I did choose a hotel a bit further away, so I had to Uber back and forth. Because the hotel that's adjacent to the convention center, the Marriott, cost like $300+ a night. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to spend that much. Although, looking back now, even if I did add up all the Ubers that I spent, I think I still saved money. However, it would have been nice if I got to just check in and take a nap, in between sessions at the convention. But it still worked out either way. Here's another lesson learned. In Hartford, Connecticut, there is a free bus service called Dash that takes you around the tourist sites in the city. Meaning it goes from the bus station or the train station, Union Station, to the convention center for free. You don't even have to buy a ticket. And I didn't know that, so I ended up buying this day pass, which until now I still have it and I haven't used it. Let's see if I can get a refund from it. But there is a bus called Dash, and it takes you around the tourist spots in Hartford. If you could afford a little bit, yeah, just get the hotel next to the convention center because it's a 90s convention, which means we're all at a certain age where we need to take naps in between to conserve our energy and for us to enjoy our time at the convention. So from 9 a.m. I took the bus to the convention center, which was very quick, and the convention for Saturday, or the convention opens at 10 a.m., but you need to get there early to get your pass and line up. Was there really a need to line up? I guess if you wanted to get first dibs in the autograph part of the convention, fine, maybe you need to line up if you have scheduled photo ops. But otherwise, you don't really need to line up. My plan for the convention was, full disclosure, is I booked a group photo op for the cast of The Craft because The Craft is a movie that I can't count how many times I've seen it, but it's such an empowering film. So I booked a group photo op for The Craft. Of course, Nancy and the Fairuza, if I'm saying it right, the actress who played Nancy wasn't there, and Neve Campbell as well, but that's fine. Sarah, in the group pictures, Sarah was there. Kristen Taylor, who played Marcia in Brady Bunch, Rochelle was there, and the guy, Ulrich, I forgot his name, already down below. They were there and I was satisfied. I'll write down how much I paid for that photo op, but it was totally worth it. While lining up, I was trying to imagine how I would pose. Like, would it be quirky? Would I pose as if I had like supernatural powers? But by the time I got to meet them for the photo op, I don't know, I just really got starstruck. I didn't know what to say, and I'll post the picture right here. And yeah, it was just such a dream come true, and Kristen Taylor, Rachel True were so wonderful. All of them were so wonderful, so friendly, like, hi, welcome, thanks for coming. And it was worth how much I paid for it, just to have that moment with them. It felt like a full circle. It was like meeting your heroes. And I know that they say to not meet your heroes, but the good news is it was a convention. It was a 90s convention, and these celebrities were already aware this is a meet and greet for fans. So I guess they were social media trained, and also, interpersonal skills trained. Compared to meeting your heroes in the wild, that's a different story. I guess I understand why they would feel irritated, but here in a convention, that's their mindset, that they're gonna treat you well, they're gonna smile and talk with you with genuine interest. And so if you're a fan of celebrity culture, look for a convention where they're in and go there, because it's really worth your time and your effort in meeting them, because they genuinely want to be there and want to meet you. And the photos, oh my god, I just really treasure them forever. So I got that photo op. It's a bit pricey, but you do get a printed copy. I paid like $5 for a picture protector, and you also get a digital copy of that photo. And the good news is that if you think your eyes blinked or anyone's eyes blinked during the photo shoot, you could always tell the team, and then they'll have your picture taken again with the group. They really care about you and how much, of course, you're paying. If you have a scheduled photo op, that's when you have to just be mindful of how you use your time, because for some people, you could actually save money by just going to the autograph part of the convention and just pay for a selfie, which might cost less than a photo op. The difference is, of course, a selfie is they have a ring light, it's just your phone, while in the photo op session, they're using a DSLR camera with professional lighting and background. Yeah, it's up to you what your budget is. Did I have like selfies taken? I did, only because I had like cash with me, which was very providential. Initially, I withdrew cash to color my hair. Turns out they ended up paying, with my credit card, so I had cash for the weekend. When you are at the convention and you do not book a photo op ahead of time, they only accept cash. So for autographs, they only accept cash. For selfies, they only accept cash. With regard to prices, yes, each star is different. So you can expect that the bigger and more popular the star is, a bit pricier it is. So the cheapest one usually is around $40. The more expensive one would be, I think, $80. But, it depends on you and how big of a fan you are. But it really is such a moment because they hug you, they put their arms around you for the selfie, and it is expected that you do have that moment to just talk. And I would recommend that if you want to say something to them that's very important for you to say, if you want to express your gratitude eloquently, write what you want to say down so that when you're there you can just read it, because I was really tongue-tied. I didn't know what to say, and I also didn't want to waste their time. But it was such a special moment. I was there early to line up. At 10 o'clock, I got my pass. So before you have to enter the convention, you have to get your day pass, which I don't know if it's here. Maybe it's not here. Let's see. Here it is. Sorry. I would recommend bring your own lanyard unless you really want to buy their official 90's Con lanyard, but you don't have to. Bring your own, save money. Although the lanyard just costs around like $10, $20, but save that money for your autograph autograph cash for selfie. But this is it, and there is a day specific to it. So Saturday, I went to the Saturday session. Doors opened. When you go in, the first thing you see are the official merch for the 90's convention, and then on the left side was 90's themed booths with merchandise and items for sale, which were really fun. And then to the far left were photo booths or photo sets of like 90's themed set pieces, which were really fun to do. Like there was this Scooby-Doo van photo set that you can do, but you just have to pay like a fee if you want. And there are other sets that were for free, and you could ask a team member of the 90's convention to take a picture for you if you go by yourself. On the far right end were the autograph sessions. Now, that was the most magical experience in my entire life, in my opinion, because in the autograph section, there were 4 rows, okay, and in those rows were all stars that were grouped according to the TV shows and movies in the 90's. And there were no barriers separating them. It was just one table, from next to the other. And let's say you don't have enough cash, or you don't want to pay for a selfie or an autograph. Now, of course, you're not allowed to take a picture or film a video in that area because it is restricted. But to just stand there and admire them and just see them like, oh my God, they're actually real people and they're there. It's such an amazing experience. My experience was I started at the beginning. I was like looking around and I was like, oh my God, because you would see posters of who they are and what shows they're in. And I'm just like, oh my God, stars of 90210, Saved by the Bell, The Craft, Cool Runnings. And I'm just like, wow. Oh my God. I walked through the aisle, went to the other aisle, and I swear I almost cried. I had to stop myself from crying. Like the feels were really there. I had to stop myself from crying because my scheduled photo shoot was at 3 o'clock and I was there at around 11 o'clock in the morning. But it was such a special moment for me. It was like a childhood reunion of my heroes. It was like these TV shows are usually about teenage years, and there's stories about growing up, coming of age stories. When you're a kid, sometimes you might not have a lot of friends, or you might not even have friends. So if you think about it, these TV shows, the cast in these shows are like your first friends. They're your first best friends. And for some people, they're your first family. You enter their home through the TV sets, and you have this bond. You see familiar faces, you laugh and you cry with them, and you learn lessons about life too. And that's the thing about the 90s and the shows back then, is that they're so wholesome and they're filled with so much good lessons and values. And that's what I appreciate about the 90s and this convention. And this is something I really want to support and I want to promote to everybody. And how I discovered this convention was just by chance. For some reason, I saw on Instagram a random post of a celebrity that says, "I had so much fun at the 90s convention, thank you so much." And I'm just like, wait, what? There is such a thing as a 90s convention? So I looked it up because I promised myself, which I learned from a TikTok video, that instead of planning like 1 or 2 big trips throughout the year, the best way to expand your experience of a whole year is to plan small mini adventures, or like 6 mini adventures throughout the year. And so I did that, and this was one of those mini adventures for the year. And I also bumped into someone where she said that her and her family don't take long trips anymore unless it's overseas, but then they'd rather do several throughout the year of long weekend trips. And I appreciated that. And I also learned from her that they do like ghost hunting, UFO sightseeing or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do that too. And she mentioned something about Pine Bush, New York as the UFO capital of the States, apparently. And I always thought that all this time it was Roswell. So I might go to Pine Bush sometime soon. But back to the convention. So yeah, I toured around the place, looked at the stuff. I didn't really buy anything, which I regret now. I wish I bought a magnet for the refrigerator of like a 90s movie poster. But that's really something you can get, you know, in Amazon or in Etsy. So I don't think I missed out on that much. After I got my pass and walked around the venue, I decided I needed to take a nap. So I went to my hotel. Or no, actually, no. Because the hotel check-in starts at 3 o'clock and my photo op is at 3 o'clock. So I kind of had a snack. After checking the venue, I had a snack. And then at the lobby outside of the venue, but of course within the complex, I just slept there. I'll insert the picture here. But I just took a nap in the venue. And then I went for my photo op. And then immediately after the photo op, after I got my picture and everything was fine and dandy, I took an Uber to the hotel, checked in, and took an hour of power nap. Went back to the venue, had dinner first outside, and I discovered this new restaurant called El Pollo Guapo, which was like a Peruvian chicken joint, which is what I'm obsessed about. Then I had to go back to the venue for the after party, which starts at 7:30 p.m. And we were told, although the doors open at 7, but the party starts at 7:30, and we were advised that Wilson Phillips will perform minutes after 7:30. And I think I love how it's so age appropriate, where the nightlife, the after party starts at 7:30, because we can't handle a party that starts at 10 o'clock. So we went to the after party, DJ Trey was there, and then he introduced Wilson Phillips, which I'll post their clips here or in another video, so please stay tuned and follow, like, and subscribe to this channel to follow on that video. And yeah, Wilson Phillips performed 3 songs, their hits. Of course, they performed Hold On last. They performed, I think it's Release Me and You're in Love. And then after that, DJ Trey was just playing hits from the 90s, different genres like rap, pop, and rock music. So it had a little bit for everybody. And the crowd in the convention and in the after party were mixed. You had young kids, older adults like Gen X. It was like a Disney park crowd, but mostly my age group, older millennials and Gen X. That was the 90s convention. I went home around 11 o'clock, which was during the karaoke session, because I'm just like, no. After DJ Trey was playing 90s hits, it was the karaoke session where it was just a -1, and it was people singing, and their voices were respectfully not it. So that's my sign to say, no, I gotta go home. Went home to the hotel. The following day, Sunday, my bus trip was for 5 o'clock p.m. My plan was to have lunch at El Pollo Guapo, which turns out they're closed on Sundays. So I just went to this barbecue place next door. I went to the museum. Good thing they're open on Sundays. And then walked from the museum to the bus station. And I'll insert the clip somewhere. If not, catch the next one in the next video. But that was my time at the 90's convention. I do look forward to next year's convention. It's going to be in Hartford, Connecticut. I believe so. And of course, you'll have to wait till closer to the date as to who the stars are. Usually they mix up what stars they're going to invite. Some they usually invite again. Forgot to mention that in the convention there is a scheduled panel for example, the Kraft and Empire Records panel, where they would interview these stars in a room where you can watch for free. So your ticket or your entrance comes with free access to the convention floor, where you can see the stars giving autographs, or they can, where you can meet and greet them, and it gives you access to the panel sessions above, where they interview these stars for their respective shows. The photo ops, autograph are different payments. The after party is a different payment. So for Saturday's event, I think I paid $80 or $90+. The after party was $80+. But there is a VIP pass where, oh my god, it cost around $300-ish. And the VIP gives you the faster lanes. When you do your photo ops, when you do your autograph sessions, there's a faster lane. When you wait for the openings of the door, there is a faster lane for you. When you attend the panel, there is a VIP part of the room, which is at the front center. So if you want to really be at the front center to see your heroes really in front of you, then maybe the VIP is your way to go. But that's like $300+, and I think that's just for one day. So that's it for the 90's convention. I just did one day. You could do 3 days if you want, if you really want to see your idols, for that whole weekend. It's usually a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Although on Fridays, I think they start in the afternoon or closer to the evening. Saturday and Sunday is a whole day event. It starts like 11 o'clock in the morning and ends around 6 o'clock. So if you want to make sure that you follow more of my 90's convention videos, please like and subscribe to this channel. And remember, just go for it. Live out your dreams. Meet your heroes, especially in conventions. And conventions are worth supporting. And I believe that these 90's conventions, 90 shows, are valid arts that you can be a patron of. Okay? So I'll see you next time. Bye.